How are we all doing? Those of you that are here so far, anyway, I think we've got yeah, a little bit of delay in people joining, but that is all good. Welcome back to the stream, everyone. Thank you to those who have joined so far. Please do make sure, obviously, drop your likes, get your comments in, let me know who is watching, let me know what you've been up to. Just let me check this. I think someone's at the door. I think so. Hang on. Sorry, it won't be a sec. Let me check this. Yeah, someone is at the door. If you don't mind. I think, oh, it's all right. I think it's been put under the bush, I think. Anyway, it's been put under the bush. Don't you worry, people. It's okay. Right, what are we doing now? Bloody hell. Again, as well, by the way, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but it seems to be a common theme that when you can't see me, you can't. Are you sure? Anyone else can't see me? Can you let me know in the chat? Let me know in the chat. Jeff, Sean, can you see me? You should be able to see me okay. Let me know, please. I can see you fine. Okay, right, okay. Sean, refresh the stream, mate. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it seems to be a common theme of when we are streaming on a Monday. That MicroStrategy announced the Bitcoin page seems to be like around this time every single Monday. So they have bought another nearly 5,000 Bitcoin worth over $500 million. So they were responsible for the push that we saw. I'm guessing, obviously, it was one of these, wasn't it? So, you know, it was one of these. It was either this one or it was this one. Now, which one it was, obviously, we don't know. We know the average entry point, which is 106 something. So, yeah, I mean, was it even this, maybe? You just don't know. I mean, the average entry was... So, 106,800. So, it can't have been them, actually. It can't have been them because the average... what have I done? There we go. So, yeah, the average entry was 106,800. So maybe they started clipping down here, maybe. Maybe they started clipping down here. I don't know. That's all I can think. Anyway, regardless, they've added another near 5,000. So they currently hodl 597,325 Bitcoin for 42.4 billion at an average price of basically 71k. So yeah, interesting. I mean, it's a fascinating decision, isn't it? And also, I mean, what do you guys think on it? What do you guys think on the fact that, you know, it's basically just MicroStrategy and other public companies just holding the market up? Or both? If he buys OTC, how does it do that to the price? Yeah, potentially. I mean, maybe they are buying some OTC. Yeah, that could be another way, Jeff. Yeah, maybe they are buying some OTC. I mean, normally you can see on the chart, can't you, where MicroStrategy buys? Normally, but maybe they bought some at market, maybe some OTC. Yeah, that is obviously another potential, isn't it? We will never know. We will never know. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Also, yes, we've had other ones. The blockchain group. I think there was another one yesterday as well called the Bitcoin something as well has been buying. So it seems to be obviously a lot of companies buying at the moment, isn't it? Metaplanet. Obviously, Metaplanet also bought some as well over the weekend. So what do you guys think? I mean, at the moment, it just seems to be like just the demand is coming from public companies to, you know, at the moment, that's what it seems like. What do you guys think on it? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Good afternoon, Pellin. How we doing? Great to see you. Make sure everyone does drop a like on the stream, please. Do get your likes in. And yeah, let me know in the chat what you think. Anyway, obviously, yeah, over the weekend, we had these two big run-ups, didn't we? Obviously, the first one coming on Sunday morning into, obviously, the start of the afternoon, and then a drop back down. And then again, Sunday night, going into this morning, early hours of this morning, another run-up, taking out that high with another high. And then, yeah, we did finally come into this area, didn't we? So this is obviously a level I'd had outlined for a bit of a while, I think. I can't remember when I outlined this level. I think it was based on 4-hour chart. Anyway, come in and, you know, touch that, didn't we? And then I've come back down. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the market. Obviously, today we're going to be doing maybe like a June look ahead. A June look ahead. Sorry, a July look ahead. June recap. Yes, the Delta. How we doing? Great to see everyone. Thanks for joining. So yeah, we're going to be doing like a June recap, July look ahead. And then anything else that you guys want, you know, let me know in the chat. You know, I'll always do whatever you guys wish. So I suppose let's start with the June recap, shall we? Let's start with the June recap. Obviously, we are closing the June candle today. And as you can see, so I went through this on stream last night briefly. But as you can see, obviously, from the June high to the low, obviously, we made the high first and put the low in second. So that is a 11.3% difference between the high and the low. So we've not had a huge range in price, have we? And then obviously paired with that, the majority of the time, so, you know, about 2/3 of the time has been spent within this 4% region. As you can see, we just spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days out of the 30 in June, outside of this grey box. You know, we consolidated here, back into it all along here, come back into it here, and then they've spent obviously the latter part of June in it here. So all in this grey box has basically been where price action has unfolded, and that itself is only 3.75%. So let me just remove that. That was from last night. So yeah, the majority of June's price action has come within less than a 4% range, and as you can see, most of the time, it hasn't actually even been trading within that. You know, if we put like a marker there, which looks about halfway, as you can see, a lot of the time it's been in either half. So for the vast majority, we've been in less than a 2% range on Bitcoin, as you can see. So yeah, not amazing for volatility. Now, what I will say is it has been a good month for fast, aggressive moves to take advantage of. Here. That one was obviously quite good in itself. Obviously, all here was great. So, yeah. Oh, hang on. Let me just take a look at this. Right. So, yeah. Not a huge volatile range to have done. It's a good thing companies are keeping us over 100k. Once it blows, again, retail will pile in at 120k. Loki, how we doing? Great to see you. Everyone seems to be piling in now. So yeah, that has been, you know, the majority of June's price action, based in within a, you know, 2 to 4% region. Now, obviously, if we go to it gets a bit interesting on the monthly. Now, while that is true, we are set, obviously, unless Bitcoin drops below 104,600, we are set to put in Bitcoin's highest ever monthly close today with 11 hours 42 minutes left on the timer. Now, interestingly, we will basically have to come back down to the lower part of that grey box if we was to obviously turn negative. But as it stands, Bitcoin is going to put in its highest ever monthly close today. If we go to the weekly, Bitcoin had its second highest ever. It was very close to being its highest ever, but it had its second highest ever weekly close of around about 108,370-ish. So marginally away from its highest ever weekly close as well. So while obviously things seem to have been a bit boring throughout June, It's putting in some key metrics, obviously, with some key closes coming up. Just if it can break this bit of a lull, will be interesting. So, yes, John, how are we doing? So yeah, overall, Bitcoin, not the most volatile month, not the most interesting, but it's certainly maybe lining up for an interesting July, which we'll go and look at next. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Also, let me know how your weekend was. Did everyone have a good weekend? Let me know how your weekend was, if you had a good one. So yeah, that's where we're up to with that. Now, obviously, the stock market has been in a world of its own as well. So we've got 8 hours, 40 minutes to go until the stock market puts in what you would assume will be its highest ever monthly close. It would be quite the pullback, wouldn't it, to pull back 140 points in today's session. But you can see, look at the confluence on that month there. We obviously had monthly open, close, then obviously open, rejected. We come back up, pretty much bang on there. Again, closed the month on the same line, couldn't get above. We opened here, tried to get above and couldn't, sold off again. So this is obviously a key monthly pivot potentially for the stock market in getting a monthly close above this 6,040 level, where we have obviously leveled off for these 4 consecutive months, as we can see along here. And just what a recovery it's been. So yeah, S&P 500 at all-time highs, Nasdaq also at all-time highs, going to put in its highest ever monthly close, obviously reflecting down to stocks as well. Stocks are absolutely booming. Now, I suppose we should go and look ahead to July. If this is the new low level and we slowly climb up, it will be better than making a parabolic run. Yeah, well, I suppose, yeah, you would then just say, obviously, the time period between, November and now has just been reaccumulation. If that's what happens, Pellin, yeah. Afternoon Discipline, how we doing? Great to see you. Great to see you. So yeah, let's go and have a look at what normally happens in July. So July historically, last year, the last 2 years have been quite boring. Last year we had a plus 2.95. The year before we had a minus 4%. But then 2021, 2022, 2021 and 2020, absolute superb volatility there. Up nearly 17%, up 18%, up 24%. And then the year before that, 2019, we had minus 6.59. But then again, 20 plus nearly 21, plus nearly 18. So, dating all the way back to 2017, it's given some huge movement. But also notice how every single one of these in July has all been huge positive returns, not negative. So we've not had a massive negative month in July ever. I mean, even if you look at, back to 2013, and even if you come and look at the average and the median, they are all positive. So July has never typically been a bad month for Bitcoin. If anything, it's either been a bit of a stalemate or it's been superbly good. So obviously that leads us on to this July. Now, are we going to get another, perhaps, June? June with plus 2.76. Or could we see another one of these explosive Julys where we get these big monthly candles? Do make sure you please drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe as well. So yeah, typically July is either a bit boring or very good. There is no bad. Now, obviously, there is a first time for everything. There is a first time for everything, so we cannot we can't rule out the potential for something to happen that we've not seen before. That would obviously be foolish of us to not look at any significant downside. But if we're looking at historical data, and the data is what we're looking at, it has been, either a little bit boring or extremely, extremely good. So we'll see what returns await us. Now that leads us on to obviously maybe looking at this. So we got stopped out on another trade. Obviously the Friday one got took out at stop loss over the weekend. Now, obviously the weekly stats speak for themselves. So I'm thinking maybe we switch it up. I'm thinking instead of going with the poll decision, we just directly go with Stonksy from now on. If you are in agreement with that, put that into the chat. Or if you want me to carry on going with the poll decision, you let me know. Either way, I'll let you guys decide. What's he saying here? When I first decided to get irresponsibly long on Bitcoin, the interview that started it all for many in 2020, one of the most viewed interviews of all time, and likely the first to explain the reason behind the wave of Bitcoin treasury companies.
A hilarious part of the story.
Interesting. Yeah, if you have missed it, if you just joined the stream and you have missed it, MicroStrategy has acquired another I keep saying MicroStrategy strategy has acquired another nearly 5,000 Bitcoin for 531 million at an average price of 106,801. And they have now spent 42.4 billion at nearly $71,000. So you should have just bet against the poll. Maybe. Trader inverse poll results. Real stupidity over artificial intelligence. Some of those poll divisions were in profit if you had taken a profit, but get stopped. All of them is tough. What time frame? Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like on Friday, we was in profit. I could have took it. On Friday. Yeah, you are right, Jeff. And it is no way your guys' fault at all. It's in no way your guys' fault. You guys are just giving the poll results. The poll opinion for what you guys think is going to happen. It's me that is obviously choosing the stop loss too. I could have definitely tightened up the stop loss on some. I could have reduced the risk and stuff. But again, it's just not as fun that way, is it? It's just not as fun that way. But yeah, I definitely don't blame you guys. I take full responsibility for it. At the end of the day, I chose this one, didn't I? The first one last Monday. I actually chose to do this one. I can't actually. Oh yeah, we went short, didn't we? Which carried over to the short there. So I actually chose to do that as well. So if anything, it's my fault. Go with Stonksy. I blame TMG. Why? Sixth one is the charm. Let's hope so. I mean, the question is, let's get it going. What do you think? I mean, let's bear in mind as well, actually. Bear in mind that we are on the last day of the month today as well. We are on the last day of the month, so you know, anything could happen. CME gap is... Oh, do you know what, Jeff? You always remind me on this. I've not looked at the CME gap so far today. Wow, the CME is massively above the current price, isn't it? I mean, the CME data is delayed by 10 minutes, but it's massively above. I mean, in the last 10 minutes, Bitcoin has gone nowhere, really. So the CME is currently about $600 premium to exchange price. The gap is... no, so the gap is only down... Well, actually, on CME, the gap is down to 107.745. So let's have a look exactly. That was 21.55. So 21.55 on Friday was this candle here. Yeah, so given the premium, you are right, Jeff, yeah? Given the premium on the CME, yeah, we would probably have to go down towards 107.100 for it to close, given that it's got about a $600 premium at the moment on CME. So, yeah, we would have to drop probably, yeah, maybe, you know, if that premium obviously closes the gap a bit, maybe like 107.200-ish, maybe. But, yeah, as it stands with the gap of the premium on the CME, yeah, I'd say we hit just above 109 and then back to 107, just a boring day. Okay, interesting. So you think that we come for another liquidity wipeout, which would actually be interesting, Pelin, because, I mean, looking at the chart straight away, the first thing I thought then is that, oh, hang on. The first thing that come to my mind then is that would give a 3 drive. You know, we'd have 1, 2, 3 drive. Obviously, price comes up here, takes out that liquidity as well. Obviously, doesn't get any higher and then drops. So that would be a really nice 3 drive on the 5 minute, which then, yeah, you would assume obviously would give the idea to the downside, which is quite interesting. I rate that. I rate that highly. Yeah, do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. If you are watching over on X, by the way, please do make sure you hop over to the YouTube channel, drop a subscribe. We have hit 2,150 subscribers, I can confirm. We are on our way to that 2,500 mark. We're just getting there slowly. So each and every sub does count. So please do hop over. It only takes a sec. Drop a subscribe. And of course, you can watch all the brilliant content that I post on there then as well. There will be another video going up, hopefully today, if not tomorrow. But I do post 2 videos a week normally. So yeah, please do jump on that. It is massively appreciated. Pelin says, is the S&P still going strong? You know it is, mate. Yeah, you know it is. So since futures opened last night, so futures opened here. Hang on, let me get that right. Yeah. So futures opened there, and we have just gone up another 30 points or so. So in that time, yeah, the S&P has made a new all-time high on futures. Obviously, currently around these levels, you know, if it holds above here, you know, anywhere around here, it would create a new all-time high. Obviously, as long as it opens above 6187-ish, then it will make a new all-time high on open. Obviously, this is in futures hours, so yeah. But yeah, unbelievable run. And yeah, so is the Nasdaq as well. If we hop over to Nasdaq, you can see Nasdaq has been on a very similar run. You know, tech is just booming, isn't it? If you go and look at tech, you know, Nvidia closed up nearly 2% up on Friday, and is looking like it's going to gap up a little bit more. And obviously, yeah, closing in on another all-time high, Nvidia. So this is the current all-time high. Obviously, if it gets above that, then yeah, another all-time high for Nvidia. Meta is another one, really edging close to that all-time high now. So Meta, oh no, sorry, Meta is all-time high pre-market. There you go. So pre-market, Meta is all-time high. If we go to the daily, there's the all-time high on Meta, and pre-market we are up 1.76%. So yeah, Meta is all-time high, going to open likely, obviously, unless anything weird happens in the next hour. Microsoft is looking to make another all-time high up from Friday. That is obviously in price discovery. Then we have some obviously that are lagging. Amazon is looking like it's obviously making a run now towards all-time high. Tesla is very far away, and Google again, maybe another one that is looking to close that gap. Obviously, has already closed a little bit more, so that's now 15% away. So yeah, all in all, really, really interesting day, and just an interesting time in general for stocks. Obviously, we aren't getting much in crypto, but in stocks, we are getting huge movements, particularly obviously to the upside. But you would argue, obviously, that Bitcoin has already done more than, you know, above and beyond. You know, that's something you can say, isn't it? Is that while stocks are running to all-time high now, you know, Bitcoin has already delivered. Oh, sorry, that is completely wrong. I don't know why. I thought that was a low then. You know, Bitcoin has already delivered 45% to current price. Obviously, if we're going to the all-time high, it delivered 50% off the lows. The S&P, obviously, relative to its size, so the S&P is obviously a lot bigger than Bitcoin, has delivered 30%. So Bitcoin has delivered slightly more, but again, you know, for the size of the S&P, it's had such a strong recovery and continues to have strong price action. Maybe a time for correction there. Yeah, I mean, you would assume. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we get another correction at some point this year. Also, you know, you've got to remember as well, we're moving into July, August, the time when fund managers go on holiday, take a break. Yeah, let me know what you guys would like me to look at. Yeah, so I mean, all in all, I suppose we just wait for the Bitcoin and cryptos turn, don't we? I suppose that's all we can do. Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in a potential 3 drive on the 5 minute if we got it. Let's see what the poll is doing. 71% think. Oh, make sure you get your voting on the poll. Everyone got 12 viewers. Easy get 12 votes on that. Go and cast your vote. Let me know what you'd want me to do. And today, I am going to wait until 2 o'clock, as I always say I will. Gosh, no, it's a boring day when you only get. I know. I don't know where everyone is. Guys, has everyone gone on holiday already? Everyone's gone on holiday already. I still think Bitcoin is heading lower. I mean, you remember there was a time when you'd never trusted Bitcoin pumps or dumps over a weekend, and obviously now because of we normally get a sailor buy over the weekend, it seems to have been forgotten. But there was a time when you would automatically just fade weekend pumps or dumps. And obviously, if you would have faded either one of these, you would have ended up in a nice profit. Fade that. I still think, and I'm on the same thinking as you, Loki. I think when you look at the 4 hour, first off, obviously that is just clear rejection on the 4 hour, isn't it? But secondly, we just still have so much to clean up to the downside, don't we? We have so much to clean up to the downside. Let me get rid of these. We have all this to clean up. We've got this to clean up. And obviously we just got all this to clean up as well. So I don't know, when/if we're going to correct, but at some point I'm fairly confident we will come and clean all this up. So yeah. But anytime that we look to head to the downside, there always just seems to be one of these companies, doesn't there, that has just got capital ready to deploy and just smacks it at the market to keep it up. Like these companies that are buying seem to have infinite money. But what we need to remember is, while Bitcoin is obviously struggling to make a new all-time high, eventually these companies will run out of money. It's just a fact, isn't it? They haven't just got infinite money. Like, even strategy can't just keep clipping constantly. They will run out of money, or they will get leveraged to the eyeballs. So when they do run out of money, MicroStrategy, Metaplanet, GameStop, and whoever else is buying, it will be interesting to see what happens then. And then maybe that is the point where the market resets itself. If we got down to 107,200 levels before market open, we will go higher on market open. Well, we close the CME gap, wouldn't we? I play the CME game every weekend and it's been profitable. We always dump after Sailor announces a buy. There's also so many times we hit 109 before we hold it. That's also true, Jeff. Yeah, that is also true. The thing is, with every buy that Sailor puts in, that is just more Bitcoin removed from the sell side, isn't it? So, when we got Metaplanet, if we look at over the weekend, Sailor's bought 530 million. This blockchain group, whoever that is, forgive me, I don't know. The blockchain group, it seems to be a French company, has bought 5.5 million euros. Let's just call that $5 million for ease. That's 535 million. Metaplanet has bought 108 million. So that is 600 let's just call it 645 million for ease. That is 645 million worth of Bitcoin removed from the sell side pool. So that's obviously Bitcoin that has been up for sale, and has now been obviously took off market and obviously locked away by these companies. So that will never, never say never return to the market, but for the meantime, won't return to the market. So they do just keep chipping away, these companies. You know, they keep, obviously every time Bitcoin looks weak or whatever, they keep throwing money in, and it does remove Bitcoin from the sell side of the market. Hey Wiz, how we doing? Great to see you. Great to see you, Wizzo. What day do you want to come on stream this week, Wiz? What works for you? Let me know. What day works best for you, my good friend? Let me know in the chat. But yeah, anything that you guys want me to look at. I think what we'll do next is obviously we looked, for those of you joined recently, please do make sure you drop a like, by the way, and subscribe. For those of you joined recently, we have looked at a June recap. We've looked into July's past results. We have looked at Bitcoin. We've looked at the S&P 500, the Nasdaq. We looked at the Mag 7. You let me know tomorrow. Yeah, sure. Let me know. Well, Thursday would probably be a good day, obviously. Kaz says also, when's Justin on, please? Well, Justin normally comes on Tuesdays, so I'll speak to him. Oh, Friday's a non-trading day as well. Oh, yes, that'd be pretty boring, won't it? Yeah, let me know anyway. But Thursday would probably be a good day. Obviously, I've saved a crypto on a Wednesday. Justin might come on tomorrow. I don't know what he's doing. I've not spoke to him. The last I spoke to him was when he was ill, so he didn't come on. But I'll speak to him, see if he wants to come on tomorrow. If Justin can't come on tomorrow, then you're free to come on tomorrow if you want. Or otherwise, Thursday will be a good day. Or, you know, even Friday, you know, you could come on Friday, even though it's a non-trading day. I mean, we don't have to have the US open market to talk stocks, do we? We could obviously talk at... we'll take a look at what your ones have been doing that you picked last time, and then obviously run through the ones that we didn't get to go through. Could still do Friday, mate. So, yeah, just let me know anyway. Currently sunbathing. Ooh, lovely. Are you in the garden? Are you in the garden, Wizzo? Oh, Wiz stock pick style chat would be good. Something different. Yeah, well, it come on. It wasn't last Friday. It was the Friday before, Kaz. Yeah, so it wasn't last Friday, it was the Friday before. And it was really good. Oh yeah, hey, don't be sorry. Just come to the next one. Was gonna talk options, CFDs and stuff. Yeah, sounds good. What does the data show the miners are doing with their supply? I know exchanges are dropping. That'd be interesting to know. Well, I don't know. I don't know about all miners, but I know Marathon are holding theirs. They actually bought more, didn't they? They raised money to buy more. You can actually see, though, I think a lot of miners are holding their Bitcoin, I think. Let me see. Tell you what, hang on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here we go. There we go. So, I don't know when this was last updated, but I'm guessing it was recently. Obviously, MicroStrategy's just added some to that, so that needs updating there, but they have only just added. But Marathon is 49,859. Riot, 19,000 Bitcoin. What other miners we got on here? Hut 8, 10,000 Bitcoin. Some others will. Some other ones on here will be miners as well. Just maybe not ones that I know about, like such as. Some also will probably. There's Core Scientific. I know that obviously is one of Wiz's and one that does well. I think that had a great surge the other day, didn't it? Bitfarms, BitDeer Technologies. I think BitDeer is absolutely superb, to be honest. Very much like BitDeer. Hive. Now, what we'd have to do is obviously go and look at. We'd have to go and look at the quarterly finance reports, wouldn't we? I mean, some of these aren't holding a great amount of Bitcoin, but yeah, still holding it. I assume probably some are selling it off, and what you got to remember is as well, for a lot of these miners, it's about how profitable they are. You know, how profitable are they? What is their efficiency like? Now, I don't know about recent reports. Let me see if I can find a recent report on it. But there was a time about, it was probably about a year and a half ago when BitDeer was by far the most efficient miner. By far. Hang on. Hang on, I think, have I got it? Hang on, no. I can't find it. Anyway, I can't find it, but yeah, obviously for a lot of these miners, it'll depend on how efficient they are. You know, what is the cost to produce one Bitcoin? And then obviously that will depend on if they need to sell it or not. Hive is trading at a really attractive valuation. Miners will move to AI centers and away from Bitcoin as it's so much more profitable. Personally, I don't like when miners hold their Bitcoin as they have to fund their operations with borrowing and share issuance. Would rather they sold to cover costs and use the money to grow their base without diluting shareholders. Yeah, well, that is the main, obviously, problem in bear markets, isn't it? Is when miners cannot cover the cost. And there was a marketplace made to where basically miners could borrow money and sell the future hash rate, i.e. they could borrow money and sell future Bitcoins. So obviously they borrow money, and then obviously whoever was funding, they could put like a sale up to raise capital. And then obviously whoever was buying that would obviously have like kind of like a promised return on the funds. That was a marketplace to help miners through the bear markets. It would be nice to see dollar gains from strength. Bitcoin is having a hard time keeping up. Well, this is it. This is the thing, isn't it? And this is obviously something that we covered on stream. So if you look from January, let's go obviously from January peak. So from January peak to now, the dollar has lost 11.76% of its value. From Bitcoin's January peak to now, Bitcoin has lost 1.76%. So technically, you know, say if your native currency is anything but the dollar, you've technically lost about 13%, haven't you? Because you've lost, obviously, from the all-time high, it's down 1.76%. And then, obviously, you know, if you sell your Bitcoin to then convert it into pound or euros or whatever, the DXY is down 11.76%. Which, if I'm right, should, yeah, directly, yeah. So, yeah, there's the pound, the low. So, pretty much, yeah, bang on, there you go, 13%. So, yeah, you actually, even though Bitcoin has not really gone anywhere, if you fast forward from January to now, if your native currency is, say, the pound, you're actually down, you know, about 15%. Because Bitcoin itself is down nearly 2 or 1.7, which actually works out bang on 15%. But the pound has gained 13.38%, or, you know, 13.25% strength over the dollar during that time. So if you've just been sitting in Bitcoin and obviously now you decide to sell it and go into the pound, you're down about 15% from, you know, obviously from Bitcoin's all-time high. Oh, why is my camera done that again? Just speaking about that though, obviously something that I have had marked on my, and I can't even begin to tell you how long I have had this marked out on my chart. This must have been marked out on my chart for probably about 3 years. This arrow, I don't think so. I think I marked this arrow on not too long ago in relevance to that. But this chart here has been marked on this chart for probably about 3 years, at least 2. And this is obviously just high time frame GBP USD chart, which obviously shows support and demand. Now, the pound actually isn't too far away now from coming into this high time frame supply zone. So the pound is roughly about 3-4% away from coming into here. Now, obviously, previous 2 times it's sold off. Now, what's interesting is where the dollar is. So if we look at the dollar, we can see the dollar has got about, if we're looking strictly into, obviously, demand, the dollar's got about 7% to go to the downside before it comes into, you know, strong support. So I think it's definitely something to keep an eye on, and obviously, you know, for you people maybe that like it, I think, you know, something that we could get is maybe a bit of a fake out on the pound. We could maybe push up into here, and you know, this could be a monster. You know, if you like to trade maybe positionally or whatever, this could be a monster long-term hold, and not just in terms of like actually trading. Not just in terms of actually trading. This could come in very. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. This could come in very valuable to, you know, anyone sat on. Hang on, let me just come back. So this could come in very valuable to anyone sat on a lot of pounds. So anyone who sat on a lot of pounds, you don't even have to just directly trade this. Once the pound starts coming up into here, obviously this is the point to pay attention for rejection or acceptance. But we could get a fake out into here. Obviously this is where there's a bit of a void, and obviously where prices shot up into and been supplied fast. Around here, then could see something like this. And that would obviously be in line. You know, if we look at that as a standpoint of price change, that is 7.5%. The DXY has got 7% to go before it comes into demand. So these things could line up absolutely perfectly, potentially, either way. Obviously, whether price actually shoots up that far is interesting, but obviously you could play this as an actual trade. Or you could, if you sat on a load of pounds, it could be the time to potentially convert your pounds into dollars, if that's, you know, something that you would think is a risk reward to do. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on, and definitely something I'll be looking out for, especially if we get into this overstretched region here, because you know, the dollar needs to hold here. If it doesn't, then we are pretty much coming back into here, which would obviously be absolutely crazy. But I don't think, obviously, it would just melt through that level rationally. You know, you would see a bounce there, you would think. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye out there on the pound dollar. Should we continue up, and obviously should the DXY continue its trajectory down, which it looks like, obviously it's broke out of its high time frame range to the downside, you wouldn't think in theory it would continue on downwards. How long it takes, obviously we don't know, but you know, if you've got a lot of pounds, it could be a place of, you know, even if you hit it at say 145 just to be conservative, you know, you may find yourself, you know, 6 months later, a year later, 10% up. And obviously if you sat on a lot of it, that is like kind of just an easy trade to make. So yeah, I don't know. Does that interest anyone? I suppose it just depends on if you sat on a lot of pounds or not, doesn't it? Iron is a prime example of how a miner should be run, and shareholders are doing well out of it. Yeah, there we go. I mean, a lot of these miners don't have great efficiency either. You know, a lot of these miners obviously have old equipment, don't they? You know, the ones, you know, equipment going back probably like 6, 7, 8 years, maybe even longer. So they don't have the best efficient equipment to run at obviously a decent efficiency. Yeah, please do make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you give a big like. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, if you're looking to trade anywhere today, please do make sure you sign up to BLOFIN. It is the first link in the description, and I'll pop it into the chat now as well. It is non-KYC, and you get yourself some great welcome bonuses when you sign up. Yeah, does anyone look at that GBP USD chart and think, I think I'd have a nibble there? Does that interest anyone? I mean, it's definitely something, you know, that's worth paying attention to. Anyway, let's see what the poll's doing. 58% think up. God damn it. See, the thing is really, yeah, I really don't like them unswept lows, mate. I would be willing to go up with a stop loss below there. But ideally, yeah, you want to smack it. Probably up here if it gets there. I'm not totally convinced. What does everyone think in the chat? We probably don't even have much left in the account, do we? Oh, it's sign me out. Ah, bugger. I'll have to sign back in. Don't do it, Dave. What do you think I should do, Jeff? Let me know. I'm going to go to the toilet. Give me a sec, and then I'm going to have to sign back in. Right, I'm back. Lower, even if we have a short pump, the gap needs filled. If we just hover at this level for the next 20 minutes, there isn't a good trade to be made. Yeah, I think, you know, we're definitely at risk, aren't we, of being chewed up and spat out. I mean, the stock market overall strength is good. Again, but the same thing, I mean, look at the state of altcoins. Should we just look at the state of altcoins for a sec? Because, yet again, Bitcoin is down just 0.65%, and altcoins are just being absolutely killed off, aren't they? I mean, minus 3%. You can see a lot of these are at key SR as well. You know, Link. Look at these on the daily. Right at key SR. AVAX. Not at key SR, but actually has obviously demand close. Series at key daily SR, which so far rejecting. Litecoin, pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, altcoins are in a bit of a weird space, aren't they? I wonder what happened to ARB yesterday, actually, because ARB mega pumped, didn't it? So it's not got to where I thought it would get to. It did blow past the first level. This thing is cooked, innit? Tier. Down another 8.6%. And it's just in like full-blown price discovery to the downside. Like, I mean, where'd you even bid this? There is literally only one place that you could possibly look to bid this. And that's obviously on the reclaim of SR in it. Which would be, you know, basically where in between where Stonksy's got that red level drew and here, I think. You know, you definitely want to regain in between here. It's still in with it, you know, it's still within that falling wedge. But I mean, it's so close to going back it down to downside price discovery. OP had a great bounce from where we was looking at, didn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we take a trade yet or not. There's always a trade when it's Dave's money. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Hang on, someone's at the door. Won't be a sec. Right, I'm back. Oh. I had to sprint then. Oh, right. Make sure you drop a like as well, people. Right. For those of you just joined, please do go vote in the poll. We've got 20 viewers and 9 likes. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up too. But yeah, go and vote in the poll if you haven't already. I don't know if we're going. It's a real struggle, isn't it? I think we're going to transition over to obviously trading probably with Stonksy instead of. I think this is, when you look at it, this is lined up for a 3 drive, isn't it? I think if we put a sell order in at like 108.895. Yeah, I've got a feeling that is probably the best risk reward out there. Because here it's just kind of in no man's land, isn't it? I'm just going to have to log into this account. I won't be a second with the screen share. I'll get the screen back up in a second. Yeah, I think, you know, shorting or long in here is just a bit wild, isn't it? Like, where do you go? You're just kind of stuck in the middle if you haven't already shorted the top. Or, you know, long from obviously lower down. Right. Should be back in now. Right, I'm back in. Hang on. Yeah, we've took a battering on this account. We're down. We're down, but we're not out. So I'll tell you what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to take some risk. We're gonna have to take some risk and open it up juicy. Let me tell you, we're gonna have to do it juicy. So what did I say? 108.895. And we'd have to, we'll have to do it juicy, won't we? And we'd want our stop loss trigger for about that because we don't want to obviously regain that. Oh, that would actually be a bit of a loss, wouldn't it? Maybe we don't do 50. We could probably be fine with 40. Yeah. There we go. Right. So we've got our limit open. Whether this triggers or not is a different question. But do you think that's in the right spot? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that? And my base theory on that is obviously while we're waiting for Stonksy. I mean, if Stonksy goes down from here, you know, particularly there's nothing on the 1 hour, on the 5 minutes, in a double confirmation to the downside. Now we could trade that, but obviously, like Jeff said, and like Pellin said, we're kind of in a bit of no man's land, aren't we? So I think the only other thing we could look at while we wait for price to come into a bit more favorable region and then get a Stonksy trigger, is to maybe just, the only thing I can see apart from that, if we're looking to get into a short, is a 3 drive on here, which would take it into around 109, maybe just below. So that is my thought process behind it. If you think that's right, let me know in the chat. But that's what we've got on. And, you know, the way it's setting up is kind of looking the same, isn't it? Obviously, when this had the run up, fell back down, consolidated, run up, fell back down, consolidated. It's looking kind of the same, isn't it? Or maybe it's not, I don't know. Anyway, circle on the other hand, wow. What a missed opportunity this turned out to be by me. Obviously, was talking in the Stonksy Discord about shorting this at around 300. It came to around 300. I completely forgot about it. It got absolutely battered, didn't it? It's down 30, you know, basically 40% on Friday's close from the peak, down another 15% on that day. Coinbase had a bit of a battering as well, was down 5%. You know, a superb push up here by Stonksy on the 5-minute as well. After that one and after that one, closed out. That's up pre-market. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Also, obviously, if you want to join Stonksy, the discount is still on. For you people on YouTube, it's the second link in the description with the code BOT20. See it on top of the website and in the description. It's this one that you want to take 20% off your first month. If you are watching on X and you come and want to get Stonksy, it is in the X bio or it's stonksy.io, and same thing. You get 20% off your first month, and you do get access to everything with that. Well, yeah, let me know. Do you think I've got that sell, or do you think I've got that sell limit in the right place? Yeah, but we've got 9 minutes to go until US Open. What's ETH been doing over the weekend? So ETH is battling still with this SR, isn't it? It's still battling with this SR. I mean, it can't confidently reclaim it. Sol obviously was one of the stronger ones going into last week, and you know that seems to have continued, doesn't it? Yeah, it keeps marching towards this supply point. But yeah, I mean, all in all, we are waiting for some real kick, aren't we? We're waiting for that zestiness by Bitcoin. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Come on, there's 20 people in this stream. There's 20 people watching on YouTube. Anyway, there's 20 people watching. Let me know, what would you like me to look at? Have you got any specific tickers or anything? I mean, I know the market's a little bit dry on the crypto side. But we do still have things pumping or dumping, I suppose. What is Palantir doing? Or Palantir, however you say it. It's back up. Obviously, that had a horrendous drop-off, didn't it? Late last week. So yeah, here we go. So Bitcoin is looking like maybe we're going to get another push on it. Should we see? Is there indeed any zestiness? Let's see. What's been going on the last 24 hours? So yeah, ARB had a huge pump. Massive. Does anyone actually know the reason behind that ARB pump? Has anyone seen anything? Why? I mean, let's go and have a look. Because I looked at that ARB pump last night on stream, and it was, it was up like 11-12%, while nothing else was doing anything. Nothing on the Twitter. I don't know. Maybe it was just the market doing its thing. What was I doing then? Yeah, so Aero again, another one. Obviously one of the stronger ones recently. Pith, Immutable X. And then apart from that, yeah, you can see it's fairly flat. What about over the last 7 days? Oh, Pengu. They obviously doing well. There's Arbitrum again. Jupiter back up. Yeah, that reached towards its low 30s again, didn't it? SPX having a bit of a resurgence, 7-day wise anyway. Bartcoin. Let's have a look at Pudgy Penguin, shall we? Don't really look at memes too much on stream anymore. Where is Pengu? I know it's on here somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, it's had it. Oh, look at that. Wow. What a pump. What a pump on Pudgy Penguins. That looks like, potentially put in. You're looking at it on the daily. A higher low on the daily. So is it going to come and put in like some sort of higher high? When you look at it, though, that was a ruthless sell-off at the time, wasn't it? It was just like dip. That kept on dipping. Yeah, is it going to come and put some higher high in? Which, we could obviously see tied into this area here. That would be prime for a higher high, wouldn't it, on Pengu? Should it happen anyway? But I mean, Stonksy caught again. We talk about double confirmations. Oh, look at that! Wow, absolutely mega. 43%. Jeez, we did get another one here. Currently in the red. SPX. Yeah. We do have 2 minutes to go anyway on Bitcoin. Let's see. On the US market, what are we going to get? Are we going to get anything? Save. Hello, mate. How we doing? In the chat. He's doing all right with Nutex. thanks to Wiz. And we aren't far away now from US Open. So let's see what we're going to get. Much going on for you over the weekend, Save? Have you been trading anything, or was you completely touching grass? Was you out on your bike? Was you going down to the beer garden? What was you up to, mate? If you just joined, please do make sure you drop a like. Make sure you are subscribed. And, of course, please do click the links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN. Sign up to Stonksy with 20% off. It is all there, down there for you legends. But, of course, yeah, please do drop a like as well. Make sure you get that like in. Oh, there we go. There you go. Market is open. And thus far, we have done nothing within the first 30 seconds. Ooh. That was a harsh 1 minute candle on the S&P. When we see the S&P too. Do you know what, Pellin? Your wish. Your wish is my command, my good friend. Let me get it up. There you go. You ask and you shall receive. 1 minute time frame on both. I was driving back. Oh, of course, yeah. I completely forgot you was in Manchester. How was the event, mate? How was the event? How did it go? I completely forgot about that. Did you go for some beers? I bet you did. I bet you had quite a few beers, didn't you, as well? Oh, come on. Why has my camera done that again? I mean, the S&P's dumped a little bit, hasn't it? Bitcoin's not really done much so far. Oh. Right. Camera's back on. Oh, we are heading down, aren't we, so far? Oh, there's my lovely setup. 107,200. Here we go, potentially, mate. Yeah. Event was great. Definitely had a few beers too. Met some old friends. Made some new ones. All good. Got lots of ideas too. That sounds good. Make sure you tell them to come to the Stonksy streams as well. After all, your motto is bring your friends, tell your friends. Make sure you tell your friends old and new to come to the Wednesday streams. Yeah, Bitcoin is heading to the downside on the back of a strong dump on the S&P coming from open. But it's dumping pretty fiercely, I must say. Oh yeah, look at it go. So literally from open, we've just had bang, down, 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 down. Not been a good open so far, and I'm guessing that's reflecting in alts just getting absolutely hammered again. But yeah, we do have that CME. Oh, we've got a lot of viewers actually. It always seems to happen as the US market comes in. Like I said on Friday, I'm sure we've got plenty of Wall Street traders hopping into this as the market opens. Please do make sure you drop a like, everyone. Please get your likes in. Let's see. 27 viewers and 11 likes. I'm sure we can do better than that, can't we? I'm sure we can do better than that with you legends that are watching. Please do go and drop a like. Of course, if you're new around here, drop subscribe. Make sure you come back to the streams every day. Plenty of content on the channel to run through with you as well if you want to watch them videos. And of course, if you sat here wondering what is this on screen, this is Stonksy. It is an all-in-one trading indicator. And you can get Stonksy with 20% off your first month. That's the first link in the description. It'll take you to the website. Click start now, and it's called BOT20, BOT20 in capitals on this one. That will get you 20% off your first month, taking it down to 116. Now, what do you get with that? You get full indicator access, oscillator access, which is here. This is the new update that's coming as well this week for users. A little sneak peek for everyone, like I shown on Friday. You get Discord access and access to the trading bots that we run on BLOFIN as well. Now, if you do want to know more about Stonksy, how it will benefit you, obviously, the value for money, make sure you get your comments in the chat and I'll answer them live on stream for you. Or obviously, you can go and watch the videos on the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, please do make sure you like, subscribe, come back for more, and click them links in the description as well. But yeah, we've had down-only price action for the first 6 minutes. Been a pretty fierce sell-off. What time frame would you use Stonksy with this kind of slight drop? I would probably look. Oh, I wasn't meant to do that. I was meant to go on Bitcoin. I would probably look on the 5 minute. I think with coming into this. With this kind of drop, I'd probably look on the 5 minute. And what I'd be looking at mostly is not so much the background color change, because obviously that can quickly switch things. You know, things can be quickly switched up unless you're already in. So, like for example here, where the background has been open for a while and is around break even. If momentum obviously doesn't continue to force any bearish drop, this will end. And then we'll either go into a no background or a green. What I'd be more so looking at is any obviously overextended push into the channels. So obviously coming into the house channel or obviously into SR. Now, you can also do that on the 1 minute as well. As you can see, 1 minute from open, sold off aggressively, exited the inner channel, came into the outer channel. We came obviously into support as well on the 1 minute and then bounced. So the 1 minute or 5 minute, I think obviously if you're looking for some low time frame trading, if you're looking for like really, really quick scalps though, then probably the 1 minute actually on these types of events like US Open, data releases, stuff like that. Because that's when you're going to get your quick, obviously, reaction from somewhere. Do you respect the CME or trade irrelevant to it? The gaps, yeah. The gaps. I think, yeah, you should respect the CME gaps, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a super long-standing indicator in it in terms of whenever Bitcoin is got an open gap. In terms of the premium and stuff, doesn't bother me. So as you can see, currently there's about a $600 premium on CME. Not interested at all in that. Not interested at all in the premium on CME. Only the gaps. Also, CME gap just relevant to Bitcoin or alts as well. No, I believe you could have a look at. I believe that there is an Ethereum version as well. I think. Let me see. Yes, so yeah, there is. if you type in ETH1 exclamation mark, there's your Ethereum futures on CME. Maybe there's just, I imagine there's, I've never actually gone and looked, to be fair. Yeah, there's your Sol futures. But primarily, we're guided by Bitcoin, aren't we? So, to be honest, I think, you know, we say if ETH's got a gap somewhere, more than likely we're going to rely on Bitcoin to go and close that gap, aren't we, by directing the market. So if both of them have got a gap to the downside, you may as well just focus on the Bitcoin one. Obviously, other side is, you know, upside too. But the majority of the time, ETH is at the mercy of Bitcoin, especially now with its, you know, with its long-term weakness. But yeah, I think, you know, you definitely could look at the ETH1 as well, because, you know, it does obviously move a bit more volatile to Bitcoin if you want that extra kicked in of volatility. But obviously, it probably rely on Bitcoin to get there, won't it? Dragging it in either direction. Yeah, no worries, Jimmy Mac. Anytime, mate. Thank you for viewing as well. If anyone else has got any questions, get them into the chat. Yeah, it could be about anything. Or if you just simply want to tell me what you did on the weekend, what have you got coming up this week? Is anyone doing anything interesting this week? Let me know. We're open to all sorts of conversation on here, but we did get a slight bounce, and we are heading back to the downside now. So there is that. Anyway, we continue on. Have a quick look. Have you seen this as well? I don't know what this is yet, but on CoinGlass, they've added this liquidity threshold in. Now, oh, geez, I haven't really messed around with it, to be honest. Like this, I'm guessing this came in over the weekend, but I mean, I don't know why would you want it on any of that? I mean, does it just looks like it just enhances liquidity areas? But I mean, I don't know. We'll keep it on one anyway. Yeah, obviously upside and downside, it's pretty standard. I'm surprised to see this hotspot so much above here though. I would have thought that it may have been closer to being right above, but there we go. Let's have a look at the 3-day. Again, you know, above. Yeah, that's more kind of around the points of where I thought it would be. Again, below down to 106.2. Well, we've not had much change, have we? You know, especially over like the past week or so. We do have an immediate hotspot, yeah, about 109. That's on the weekly. So yeah, that lines up. And you can see there exactly, can't you? How maybe we get that 3 drive. Yeah, not much going on. And we remember as well, we are monthly close today. So we will get the monthly close across all markets. So we'll get the Bitcoin monthly close, which could be the highest ever monthly close. We'll get the S&P and NASDAQ closes, which are currently going to close at all-time high. As it stands, anyway. Unless anything major happens today. then they will close at all-time high. Nvidia, Microsoft potentially close at all-time high. Meta maybe close at all-time high. We've got Bitcoin, obviously not at all-time high, very close, but is likely to put in its highest ever monthly close unless it drops below, I think 104, I think is the previous month. So yeah, plenty of plenty of got things going on. While it seems boring and while it seems a bit mundane, if we simply just scroll out on the high time frame, yeah, this would be Bitcoin's highest ever monthly close. It just put in its second highest ever weekly close. So yeah, again, S&P 500, there you go, completely clearing. Nasdaq highest ever. So yeah, I mean, stocks are ripping, aren't they? So it's just a case of, is Bitcoin maybe lagging a bit, and then we get some rotation perhaps back into Bitcoin from TradFi, or is it just the fact that Bitcoin's cooling off because obviously Bitcoin ran super hard, didn't it? It did from the bottom of the move to the all-time high that it created was a 50% gain, and it did it pretty quickly. So yeah, we will see anyway. Yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. What would you like me to cover? What would you like me to cover? Obviously, you people that are just jumping in, please do make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe if if this is a new experience, first time watching the channel for you. And of course, after the stream, please do make sure you come and check out the videos that have been posted. Plenty of content for you to get to grips on, and obviously fill some of your time watching. And it's obviously massively appreciated if you do go and do that. And if you are doing any trading today, make sure you are doing it on BLOFIN. It is the best non-KYC exchange in the industry. You sign up with just an email. It's got a fantastic user interface. And it's just overall superb. 30 degrees in Middlesbrough today. Time for a beer and hope alt. Yeah, mate. It's a hot one today, innit? I think it's going to be a hot one all week, I believe. Let me have a look. I think it's going to be a hot one all week. I think, especially coming into summer, maybe people are going to start taking a bit of downtime. Maybe time to touch some grass, as obviously we say. But I mean, yeah, look at that. Today is unbelievable, innit? Unbelievable weather today. And I mean, even we've had a pretty good, past, I would say, month it's been going on now, hasn't it? It must be about a month we've had this nice weather, and it looks like I've just had a look. Even next week, I think it's going to cool down a bit, but it's still late teens and stuff. So, as long as it's warm, that's all we want, isn't it? But I suppose, we are having a good old time of it. We are having a good old time of it. But yeah, if you did miss it as well, for those of you just joined, Strategy bought nearly 5,000 Bitcoin over the weekend. Well, what we assume is over the weekend, for 531.9 million, bringing them to nearly 600,000 Bitcoin for 42.4 billion at an average price of 71k now. And he wasn't alone. We had the blockchain group acquiring 60 Bitcoin. We had Metaplanet buying more. They acquired 1,005 Bitcoin. So, you know, these rallies that we've been getting over the weekend look like they've been caused by public companies. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that, if any? Tell you what, let's have a look at what data we've potentially got coming this week. I haven't looked yet. Oh, we've got Powell speaking tomorrow at the European Central Bank Forum in Portugal. We then got ISM manufacturing PMI, ADP employment change. And then on Thursday, we've got a big one on Thursday. We've got average hourly earnings. Big one, obviously, is NFP. And then ISM services. And then, yeah, like we said before, the stock market is closed on Friday. But yeah, big week, obviously. Eyes on NFP on Thursday. Definitely. Bitcoin is taking another plunge, though. Taking another plunge to the downside. We do, and we will have this order set. So, obviously, I'm not 100% sure on where the market's going. So we have set a limit short there for if we do get the 1, 2, 3rd drive in towards 109. So we'll leave that open and see if we get that at some point today or overnight. But apart from that, I mean, yeah, time to go long soon. Potentially. I mean, it's holding there well in it. It is holding that low time frame well. I think it just depends on what the stock market is going to do, isn't it, Pellin? Because while it's recovered well, if this is obviously just massively, I think, oversold now, the stock market. You know, the run it's been on, it's not really come back to take anything out to the downside. Did obviously have this fierce drop, which actually, to be fair, did come back to a decent point. But I think it all depends on the stock market. If this is going to carry on, then yeah, absolutely. If it's going to hold, absolutely could. If this starts to pull back, I think it will apply some real pressure on Bitcoin, given the lack of follow through on Bitcoin recently. If this starts dumping, then yeah, it could apply some real pressure. But we'll see. We don't know, do we? But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's joined today. Please do make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe before you go. And of course, check the links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, get your non-KYC account. And please do sign up to Stonksy. If you haven't, you do get 20% off your first month with code BOT20. That is there for you. But yeah, that's all from me today. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll obviously see if we've had much change, what's going on in the market. We might have a guest on tomorrow as well. But yeah, thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day if you're enjoying the sun. And I'll catch you then. Bye-bye.